Good evening, internets, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you may be seeing this. If you haven't met me before, my name is Levi Johnson. I'm the owner of this channel, Levi's Van Life. And so in this channel, I often give perspectives on why I do van life and philosophical perspectives. So if you like that, please subscribe. If you like this video, hit the like button and please share the video. Today I want to talk about the abundance mindset, and as well as being a part of the van life movement in general, and I've been doing this now for like I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks or something like that, but not quite 3 weeks. And although living in a van is new for me, I'm not new to unconventional lifestyle. For the last off and on for the last 8 or 9 years or so, I've lived in South Korea for 3.5 years, China for 3.5 years. I just moved back from Saudi Arabia last month, or about a month ago, and I've traveled to different places. Traveled to Malaysia, Mexico, Canada. When I was a child, Canada. But anyways, so I've visited a lot of different places, spent some time in Nepal, and so not new to van life, but being unconventional and being philosophical in nature gives one a different, having learned some Mandarin, some Korean, some Arabic, it gives me a different perspective on van life and also on finances and abundance and the abundance mindset. And so, one thing to keep in mind about having an abundance mindset in van life, and as well as in life in general, is that education removes fear and suspicion. And so one of the greatest hindrances to abundance in life is an ignorance about how things actually work. And so right now I'm writing a book about the nature of reality. And why am I writing a book like a philosophical book like that? Well, because when we decide to love the reality that we live in, and we can make judgments about it, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's painful or joyful, whatever it might be. But what's most important about accessing, well, maybe not most important, but one very important criteria for accessing the abundance mindset is learning to love reality. When we learn to love reality, then we find ourselves, when we learn to accept it, we learn to love it, and we resist being resentful of it, and then develop an attitude of gratitude about being alive, to God, to people. Then what we begin to discover when we develop that love for reality, then we develop a curiosity about why things are the way they are. We can look at good governments or bad governments, good situations or bad situations, or just neutral situations. And so in the abundance mindset, when we learn to love reality, we become curious about it, then we learn about it, and oftentimes we become more intelligent in an area through self-education, through self-training. And that's something that I've spent a lot of time doing the last several years. I read hundreds of books in many different disciplines, including economics, business, finance, self-improvement, spiritual, like all these kinds of books. But what this reading does is it increases our vocabulary. And when we increase our vocabulary, we increase the size of our reality. And the words we learn give us handles, so to speak, to steer the direction of our lives more effectively. So without a steering wheel, I can't steer my van when it's moving. And so, but since I have something to grab a hold of, then I have more influence and control about where I'm going. It's the same thing with financial and abundance-minded vocabulary as it pertains to money and investing and how things work. And so what is investing? Investing is the science of money making money. And so when we understand the science of investing, then we don't have to be nervous. So for instance, right now, maybe some of you have thought about putting money into the stock market in some way. And I don't do day trading. I'm not a day trader, and I'm not here to give advice. But I do have some investments in VTSAX, which is a Vanguard index fund, which loosely falls under the mutual fund banner. But index funds are much different than mutual funds, and index funds are different in many ways. So I have some money in that, and I have some money in a REIT, a real estate investment trust. And so right now, maybe many people who have money in the stock market are feeling nervous. But I want to tell you why I not only do not feel nervous, I'm actually excited. So people who are familiar at an intuitive level, at a practical level, and at an educational level with the principles of abundance, and then extending that into the field of investing, they train themselves on how to differentiate between good deals and bad deals, between value and non-value. And what you notice as a trend, whether it's the stock market, whether it's real estate, whether it's cars, whether it's ideas, whatever it might be, is that there are cycles. And these cycles can last 20 years, 100 years. There are many more cycles that I personally am not able to articulate at this time. But one of the things to look for is when you can recognize the cycles, then you recognize that there are up times and there are down times. And so the stock market has sunken a noticeable amount. I wouldn't say recessionary, but a noticeable amount. But even if it went into a recession or depression, I would be excited. Why? Because when the stock market goes into, loses points, I think of it not as having lost money on the investments I already have in it, but as an opportunity to gain more investments at a cheaper price, or to gain assets at a cheaper price. For instance, if you like to shop for cars, then you know at certain times of the year there are more, like if you shop for a used vehicle, or perhaps even for a new vehicle, though I'm not sure, you will know that there's some times of the year where it's really popular to buy a car, and sometimes of the year where it's better to be selling a car. So you have a buyer's market or a seller's market. And so it's the same for cars, it's the same for real estate, it's the same for commercial real estate and residential real estate, and it's also true for the stock market. Now, since I'm invested in an index that's a cross-section of all of the entire U.S. stock market, I'm actually excited that the stock prices have that the stock market has gone down, because now I can buy assets at a cheaper price and make more money in the long term. So because of my financial education, it's cleaned out the fear and it's introduced confidence, because now I know what to look for to make money, and I'm not afraid of losing money because I know what it actually takes. So anyways, this is the product of the abundance mindset in the context of self-education. And so I just wanted to pass on this nugget. I take this into my van life as well, and my van life helps support my goal of financial independence in this context. So anyways, thank you so much for watching today. If you like this video, smash the subscribe button, hit like, and share this with a friend. I sincerely hope you got something out of this, and have a great day. Bye-bye.